come out from the past, living in the future I created. Now, own an air minute, I'm in it a G. My NFT drop, you with that energy, stop. At all costs, I will protect funeral line the effect from the blast that I emit. I don't miss. I'm unfolding, rise up, king. I'd rather build or destroy.
Thank you so much for watching and listening to the Joe Pavich Podcast. You can find me on Spotify, Apple, YouTube, joepavichpodcast.com. And I'd like to thank my sponsor today, Giovanni Matita, beyourgiftgroup.com. Today I got Corey Leivermann from Cornell University, the assistant coach. I'm sitting down with the big guy today. Nice to meet you, Corey.
Appreciate you having me.
So is this the first time at the event, or have you been here before?
First time for myself, but Cornell has always been a representative down here. Ben Russell last year, Sean Flanagan, other assistant coaches. So first time for me, excuse to get some sun. Should have put some sunscreen on, but it's been a good event so far. A lot of talent, a lot of kudos to Ryan and Kate for setting up a good event.
Yeah, they did a great job for sure. It's funny because my kids play baseball, so when it rains, no baseball.
Correct.
Not for hockey.
You got a rink, you got a roof.
So I'm actually from Chicago, so
Okay.
Growing up, hockey was never a thing. You would think, you'd hear about hockey. When I was a kid, it wasn't like that.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Moved to Florida.
Hockey's
the sun,
here.
Hockey's everywhere.
Well, I'm a Minnesota guy, so hockey's hockey up there. That's all we know.
Is it hockey or hockey?
Hockey.
Hockey.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about the university, Cornell.
Ivy League, rich tradition with not only the academic side of it, but just a unbelievable hockey experience. Not only from the player side of it, the experience, but just line of faithful where we play. Tremendous supporting from not only our student body, but we call them the townies, the line of faithful. And anytime Harvard comes to town, or really anybody within the Ivy League or the ECAC, it's going to be a good crowd. We have tremendous support, and it's just an unbelievable experience, and our guys are lucky to have that behind them.
That's great. Well, sitting here with a coach is kind of cool because I remember growing up in sports. I played baseball. Coaches were they're like role models, and you don't realize the impact that you have on your players until they grow up.
Oh yeah.
And they get out of college, and all of a sudden they still remember Coach Corey.
Yeah.
That's the way it goes, man.
It's true. I mean, I haven't been doing this as long as some of the other gentlemen that are here coaching it, but it's pretty neat when former players of yours are not only signing pro contracts or special moments in college, and you win something as a coach and they reach out to you, and it brings back a lot of memories of me, of the coaches that I talk about still, that I had in my experiences in junior and college, that I look up to and I still reach out to for advice. And it's kind of what drives me is, I want to give back to this game what all those coaches gave to me, and that's kind of what drives me and what brings me to the rink every day with a smile on my face. I'm coaching hockey. I did sales for a year and I got told no a lot, so I'm kind of used to it with recruiting, but at the end of the day, I get to come to the rink and coach hockey, and I love it every day.
Yeah, absolutely. Any kids?
Wife is expecting.
Nice, man.
Yep,
Nice.
first one, so I'm pretty pumped, yeah.
How far along?
September 16th, right in the middle of hockey season. Why
Nice.
not be the first one?
Do you know if it's a boy or girl?
Baby girl.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's great, man.
I'm excited. Girl dad.
So I have three. I have a boy, girl, and a boy.
Okay.
And I always say I wish I can clone my daughter and have like 50 of her.
Yeah.
This is so much love.
I
I mean,
know.
it's just great. Man.
I'm
That's
excited.
awesome.
They'll be awesome.
As a coach, though, it's exciting to sit down with you because, there's attributes you look for in players, and you try to coach them along through their career. Hopefully the parents don't, they could sit back and
Yep.
take the back seat and let Coach Corey do it. But
Yep.
but it's amazing, though, in life, though, the coach is having a good effect, so that's awesome.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's special. I mean, it's unique even to meet parents at this event that are, excited for their son to get recruited by Cornell, or having conversation with parents that I've coached, and, I still keep in touch with people. You bump into them at ranks, and, Corey still talks about you, and he sees you're doing well at Cornell. Good for you. So it's awesome. It's unique, and you get some good apples, and you get some ones that you're like, I hope I don't see you again.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, you got to follow your old players, right? Make
Yeah.
Now, as a daughter, a lot of girls play hockey, right?
Mm-hmm.
Would you want your daughter to go down the hockey path?
100%. I mean,
Nice.
she wants to,
Nice.
right? no preference for me, but if she can play hockey, I'll be there to support her and hopefully coach her one day.
That's great.
Yeah.
So where'd you play at?
I'm a Minnesota boy, grew up down there, southern Minnesota, Mankato, and then chased that through my high school days there, played a little USHL, played some college, Minnesota State Mankato, finished up D3 at Gus Davis Adolphus, played a cup of coffee in Germany for some pro, and then the Mississippi River Kings in the SP, and that's kind of the career in a nutshell with concussions and shoulder problems here. And then the year of sales and got into coaching, been in it ever since. So,
where were the sales at? What'd you do for that?
Sold payroll for ADP.
Oh, did you really?
Yep. So that was not something I was passionate about, but it was a learning curve experience, and really knew I was good at the sales, the talking side of things, and it's really it's everything recruiting, right? Selling kids on your product and what Cornell can offer you, not only as an education but as a hockey experience.
Yeah.
So, kind of set me up for that and getting myself into college.
It's always good because more people say no than yes in that, right?
Yeah, and I mean,
cold call people, I'm sure, and
why you calling? My payroll works, so
yeah, I'm happy.
Yeah.
Now I'm
Yep.
happy today. I'm not going to mention who I went with, but yeah, I've been talking to ADP a little bit.
There you go.
So let's talk about concussions because you mentioned that. So
Yeah.
you had concussions.
Yeah, so I had probably 3-ish throughout my youth to high school days, and in juniors I had a really significant head injury that led to a shoulder issue. Got hit, blindsided, didn't see anything coming, and ended up landing directly on my head here. I don't know if you can see the scar, but really had a lingering concussion for months. I had to go see a concussion specialist in Minneapolis. Same one as longtime Twins legend Justin Morneau, and really just lingered and kind of never got really healthy. Always kind of felt a little dazy at times there for a couple months, and saw this concussion specialist, and eventually I just, the longevity of your life was kind of more important. And at my time I knew I wasn't going to make it to the NHL, and definitely just thought, let's start life. And hockey gave me a lot, and went into the sales side of things.
Yeah. When you look at concussions, though, how many players, don't know that they've had a concussion?
I mean, I think it's when I played, and maybe a couple years back, probably a lot of kids didn't know at the time. They just felt a little dizzy and, I'll be fine, and went out there and played, and I think there's a lot more information and research on it, and it's being presented at younger ages. And I think within USA Hockey, they're doing a better job of informing coaches of signs to look for. And, I think it's something that's really important. And I think as a youth coach and high school coaches and anybody, college coaches, it's something we have to be, looking out for our players when we see things. And, especially at our college level, we're fortunate to have, multiple coaches and a trainer and an equipment manager that are all there to support our athletes. So, it's something we just got to continue to do our best part to help our student athletes.
Yeah. Especially the fact that you've had a couple in the past, right? When you have a player that showing signs, the fact that you recognize it, right?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I think the foggy judgment, the loopy eyes, the glassed over eyes, you kind of know right away when something's not right, and it's hey, go talk to Kate. It stinks to lose a player at the time, but it is an important factor of life, right?
Yeah, you have to.
Mm-hmm.
Because over time, I mean, I feel like in the past, it could have been a lot. I remember the helmets, right? They didn't cover much.
A little more protection nowadays.
I wonder if hockey in 10 years or 15 years, there's just a different way, different helmets, who knows?
Something's going to change. You look at football with those protectors over their helmets, right? What does hockey do potentially in the future to help limit that? What kind of, technology do we get with our helmets, and how do we protect our hockey players, boys and girls? Yeah.
Is there any kind of training that you do with them or for them to eliminate those types of injuries?
I think more just having, our athletic trainer walk them through the protocols early in their time as freshmen, and, taking those concussion impact testing is something, and, just really educating them on, again, every kid wants to play, but, trying to educate them on, when it's time to grow up and, hey, I think something's wrong, and I think the junior aspect, a lot of our kids go play juniors for 1 to 2 years, maybe 3, and by the time they step foot on Cornell's campus, they're mature young adults. So I think they've been through a lot, and I think they're very self-aware of when it's time to report something.
Unlike our generation where you rub some dirt on it and get back. That's a baseball thing, right?
Oh, yeah, I know.
Rub some dirt on it.
Get out there.
But back then, that's what they did, right? You get right back on the ice because they need you, and
Yep.
it just makes things worse.
100%. So, different world.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's talk about the transfer portal schools.
Yep.
Negatives, positives. Kind of explain that process to me a little bit.
I think if you ask a lot of these coaches here, it's probably a little more negative at times, just because, a player on Cornell up and leaves and goes to a Big Ten school, right? It's a difficult loss for us, but then in return, we go and find a player that might suit us better in the portal, and we're disappointed one day and then we're ecstatic the next day, right? So there seems to be some more negatives out of it, but at the end of the day, glass half full. Look for the next kid that wants to be a part of the Cornell and be a part of the Big Red.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what our thoughts were when we lost a kid earlier this year, was go find somebody that wants to buy into the culture and be a part of it, and we did, and we're ecstatic for them.
Yeah, that's the way it goes, right? People sometimes think the grass is always greener on the other side, and maybe it's not.
Yeah,
Who knows?
100%.
But as far as coaching, right? You look at what you do, the effects you have on the kids. What would you say one of the mistakes that you've made that you've learned from?
What I think, as a younger coach, just confrontation with kids, holding kids accountable is something that I think at a younger age coach, being a head coach, I definitely never wanted to confront a kid or tell him he's doing something wrong, and it kind of let kids get away with things, and it lingered, and ultimately it backfired, and I ended up getting fired for it. And kind of a really low point in my career was being told you're no longer a coach here, and had to really sit back and reflect and what I could have done differently, and ultimately kind of landed on my feet the following year, and really just in my short year with Coach Mike Schaefer, who just retired at Cornell, and Casey Jones, who's the coach in waiting, I learned so much from those two, and Sean Flanagan, of just how to really create a culture and how to live by it, how to hold not only your best player, but the kid that's not even in the lineup accountable.
Yep.
And doing it in a constructive criticism, but ultimately a loving way as well. And I think that's something that I've taken a lot from those guys, and it's something that I look back and wish you could have done differently, but at the end of the day, it's, made those choices not to, and I'm learning, I'm growing every day, and at the end of the day, if I could do it all over again, I would, but you know what, we'll continue to improve and get better.
Chapters in the book, man.
Yep, exactly.
What's your daughter's name?
We don't know yet.
Oh, okay, all right. I'm sure you have a couple names,
Yeah.
a couple colors of paint that's going to go on the walls and all that stuff. But these chapters in the book, they'll make you a better parent.
100%.
Because when they come to dad for advice, you got to make some mistakes.
Yep, I'll probably be the softy of it.
Yeah, of course, of course. That's how it is in my house, Corey. Don't worry. My wife is the enforcer.
I'll let my wife do that.
She always says, "I'm the bad guy. I'm the bad guy." It is what it is. If you do have a scenario on the team, right, a problem child or somebody that's not getting along with everybody that plays good, it's so hard because if you come in too hot, you can't. You almost have to step back and,
Yep.
figure out what you're going to do from there.
Yeah, it's there's all kinds of different situations that come up, it's just how do you handle it, and I think it's a different generation, it's a different world we're in, and my way or the highway is no longer a thing, right?
Yeah.
So got to find ways to adapt and try to get across your point to the kids in a fashion that they respect and they understand, and they want to play for you in the long run.
Yeah, exactly. You create that that environment, right? I mean, Cornell.
Yep.
It's pretty awesome.
Culture, it's everything.
So give me some of the words from the wise
Yeah.
to the younger players that want to, take hockey seriously and move up the ranks.
Yeah, I think for those that are listening, but Coach Riley from Army, who just retired this year, he had a tremendous speech at our opening welcome reception, and it talked about sacrifice and leadership and commitment to the bigger whole and being a good teammate, and all those things that coming to the rink with a good attitude, all those things are something you can control every day. You may not be the best player, you may not be the best passer, the best goal scorer, but those non-negotiables of your compete level and the commitment to something on the front than the last name and being a good teammate, those are just things you can control every day. And when you go on these recruiting paths, you of course want the best hockey player, but if they don't fit the values of your institution, which Cornell has some high standards and high culture, if they don't fit those, I'll take the B player who does.
Yeah.
Because I know at the end of the day, he's going to live what we want to live every day. And if there's anything you can do out there, just don't worry about the player to the left of you. Don't worry about the player to the right. In a non-selfish way, focus on you and get better. And your journey is different from everybody else. You could be later, you could be earlier. It really doesn't matter. It's the end goal.
It's, you know, when you're a father and you look back, your kids, you're coaching them and stuff, or players. I'm a better player now than I was when I was a kid, jokingly.
Yep.
But, you know, mindset-wise, you know, you realize when you're a player, you think about things too much. In hockey, what would you say mindset versus skill level percentage?
Yeah, I think
baseball, they say it's like 90-10 or.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's the mindset of there's a lot more mistakes in hockey. Mistakes, turnovers, those things happen a lot. So I always say it's a next shift mentality. You can't let a poor decision or a poor mistake linger, you know, because if it lingers, it's going to lead to a batting drought. But for you, it's going to lead to a bad game. You know,
Sure.
you're going to have 4 or 5 bad shifts in a row. So for me, I think it's a next shift mentality. You got to shake it off. You got to find a way. Is it spray some water in your face? Is it take your gloves off, retie your skates, reset, refocus, and get after it next shift, because you can't let it linger.
Yeah. So maybe 30-70.
Yeah, something like that.
37.
Yeah.
Corey, it's been a real pleasure, man.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming out. Do me
Yeah.
a favor, tell the viewers where they can find you at, learn more about Cornell.
Cornell University. Feel free to check out men's ice hockey. Look at our coaching staff, Corey Leivermann. Email cl2774@cornell.edu if you want some more information on not only our ice hockey program, but ultimately an Ivy League degree and an unbelievable atmosphere at Lina Arena.
Love it, man. Hope you enjoyed the show. You can find me on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, JoePavichPodcast.com. And thanks again, Giovanni Matita, for sponsoring the show, BeYourGiftGroup.com. That's all she wrote.
Appreciate it, Joe, and
Pleasure.
thanks, Gio.
Thank you.
Yep, thank you, sir.
Appreciate it, Corey.
Take care.
Rise up, king. I'd rather build or destroy.